These are the great wing shooting destinations of the world, steeped in tradition, offering the pinnacle of shotgun sport. Tour the planet with us.
Hi, I'm Chris Batha. Welcome to South Carolina. This is plantation country, and here at Brays Island we're at one of the finest plantations in the South.
Genteel. It's a word you don't run across too much these days. It's an adjective that means marked by refinement in taste and manners. In its day, the word was commonly used to describe plantation life in the southeastern United States. Sadly, there are few things genteel about life anywhere these days. But like shafts of sunshine slicing between the moss-shrouded live oaks and loblolly pines, there are still shreds of genteel southern tradition to be found at places like South Carolina's Brays Island Plantation.
I arrived at Brays Island in the late afternoon, a day early, and took the opportunity. Perry Harvey kindly showed me around, and magnificent, everything that Brays Island is portrayed to be and more. Just gorgeous scenery, fantastic, you know, it's just pristine conservationism, just wonderful.
Chris Batha has come here to sample some of the most genteel kind of wing shooting. A traditional southern horseback hunt for bobwhite quail. In the heart of the low country, on acres managed especially to the benefit of birds and bird dogs, Chris has been invited to share in the most refined of wing shooting sport.
Perry said that I'd be shooting with two of the residents, Cheryl and Alan Hyam, and would I like to take the opportunity to shoot a few clays with them before we go out in the field tomorrow. So we went over to the gun club, which is a real jewel, probably in my opinion one of the finest sporting clays and facilities in the USA, and once again, like everything else, pristine. They both bought themselves a pair of side-by-sides, matching side-by-sides. Very nice guns, the Gruler 216 models, one of my favourites. She'd had the gun fitted and we went to the skeet range and we shot a little trap and a little skeet. She struggled a little bit with her gun mount, and the fact that she'd been shooting over and under and moved over to a side-by-side. Yeah, bring your head onto the stock. If you maintain it with this hand, the strength in the hand, the gun won't flex as much. You won't get all that movement going on. It's almost, you have to grip it twice as tight as you would an over and under. The biggest problem, and most people who shoot even sporting clays now and trap and skeet, shoot pre-mounted or gun up, because 80% of the misses occur in the gun mount. And Cheryl was a perfect example of that. She was teeter-tottering or seesawing the gun mount by overpowering it with a right hand, coiling the barrels to rock and roll. And of course, if you combine that with a target that, as she was getting to it through that rock and roll, her gun was travelling up through the target as the target was beginning to drop, and the classic miss over the top. Trying to get it to get into that bayonet action and a nice controlled parallel gun mount isn't achieved in 20 words, and I think hopefully she'll take on board what I've said and put some practice into it, and tomorrow we'll be fine. Now that was underneath. Alan, a little better, but the same thing, gun mount. I believe that 80% of misses in the field are attributable to bad gun mount. So your gun's still too low, sir. You know, if you have it over there, that'll be your ready position.
Okay.
Now you've gone back to where you were. Back, just there. Hold when you're ready.
Hold.
Still over the top, and it's the seesaw and teeter-totter in your gun mount and your old position that's doing it. Hold on.
Thank you.
I enjoyed this afternoon. I must admit, you know, working with them I think is going to pay dividends tomorrow in the field. The hour or so that I spent with them, I thoroughly enjoyed getting to know them, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with them. But I think it will benefit them in the future, and definitely, you know, we'll reap rewards tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. Good morning.
Good morning.
Chris Batha is at Brays Island Plantation in South Carolina's Low Country. He's invited to partake in a quail hunt that promises to turn back a few pages of American history. To enjoy the kind of genteel day afield reminiscent of a time when each outing was honored as a special event. Chris is fortunate to sample wing shooting around the world, but he recognizes that southern bobwhite hunting is something different.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good, and yourself? This is going to be a great experience for me, you know. Never been in the mule cart with the mules before. Done a lot of quail, you know, off the buggies and off dogs and that sort of thing, but to see the mules and horses is a real rare experience.
Well, that's good. That's what we like to do around Brays Island, is show people new experiences.
Yeah.
While everyone is anxious to go hunting, the moments of preparation are to be savored as well.
Easy. Come on, Katie.
This is Southern tradition at its finest, and like so many of life's best things, a fine day in the field should not be rushed. Important to the tradition are fine-gaited horses, mule-drawn wagons, and of course, the very best bird dogs.
I can't tell you how thrilled I am. This is absolutely awesome. The mules, the wagon, you know, the quality of the dog work, and this absolutely beautiful plantation. I'm just absolutely, I've got to tell you, I'm very excited. And I've shot a lot of places, but you know, this morning, I'm really looking forward to this experience.
Step up. Step up, gal. G. Good girl. Good girl.
I've been to Brays Island to the Clays course a few times, and I've spoken to many owners here, and I've been told about it and how nice and how traditional, and this is real southern, you know, quail shooting at its best. Wagons and mules. I can't tell you, this is just going to be great.
Well, as a traditional low-country plantation, the hunting wagon is part of the tradition and part of the sport. And we've had this wagon, and I think it came from South Georgia. And it's been at Brays for probably 20 years. These mules we just got last year. We retired the pair we had before. But it's just the traditional hunting vehicle for this kind of low-country quail hunt.
I'm gonna get a couple of dollars out right here, so we'll be ready to start.
A point on the left.
That's a pretty point, Robert.
Pretty, he held it a long time.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that bird's down.
Fetch, hold.
Robert,
Yeah.
I have to tell you, compliment to you, those birds, you know, for the dogs to hold a point like that, you know, while people get off the wagon and get dismounted. That's absolutely impressive dog work. That's classic South Carolina bird dogs at their best.
That's what we work for. You know, sometimes it doesn't always work out that way, but you know, that's the #1 goal.
So, can we try and find some more?
Let's do that.
Great. Now that sun's coming through as well, the light, you know, you get this canopy.
The live oaks are the tough ones. Those birds
Oh,
love to get
yeah.
under there because they're
Yeah.
protected from above.
Especially if it's warm and they get in there for the shade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And if you get a point in there
Yeah.
with those low branches, it's tough.
And you can guarantee they always fly the wrong way.
Oh, exit.
Yeah. It's almost like they know how to use the branches for cover.
That's right.
Yeah.
Up there close, I'll get in front. Get in here to flush the bird.
Cross it.
In the ditch.
That was pretty good. Lovely point, you know. Fantastic hole. Good time to get off the wagon, come up, get ready for the bird, and just classic quail shooting.
What brings people here is really the opportunity to live in a sporting community where we have equestrian facilities, we have a golf course, we have this remarkable hunting preserve, and we have tremendous fishing, both freshwater and saltwater. And a lot of the people who buy here have children, and they want their children to be in an environment where they can learn all of these activities and share them with their parents.
With the sun still below the pines, Chris Batha and his hosts at Brays Island Plantation gather to savor the preparations for the hunt. When the horses, mules, dogs, handlers, scouts, and most of all the hunters are ready for the trail, the hunt is on. In a perfect location such as this, hunts often play out like a series of masterpiece sporting paintings. Each scene is perfection and steeped in tradition. The dogs are released. The handlers, hunters, and gallery are charged. The dogs run big, filtering the air. Then lightning strikes. The scout dashes forward and raises his hat above his head. A point! In organized excitement, the hunters dismount and move toward the dogs. The handler flushes. And the scent of burnt powder follows the report of the guns.
For me, it is possibly the best. You have a great mix. It's a 5,500 acres with around 300 owners who are all gentlemen conservationists. The property is maintained and run as a sporting estate, as it would be in England. And combined that it's equally distant from Charleston, Savannah, and beautiful Beaufort on the Sound and River, you know, perfect. That's all I can say, absolutely perfect.
Point.
This is yours.
Oh.
We're up.
All righty.
This is one of the bonuses. You get to shoot the beautiful women.
Thank you.
When you are, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great covey ride.
That was great.
I wish we'd done it more justice. The dogs deserve something.
Think there's more in here?
There's another point up the front there.
Yes.
Cheryl, walk
Oh,
forward.
there it is.
And another nice shot. You put me to shame. 2 for 2.
As a novice hunter, you know, you're always looking for any points that will just help you get better. And as they tell you, it's experience and it's time in the saddle, you know, our time in the field. And
Most people would not have made that shot just then. I mean, you had to step to the right and lean over.
Right.
I mean, you were right on.
you know, you really
Good recovery.
you try to think about your footing there because it's so important.
Yep.
But that's Cheryl. He'll give me full, you know, credit for it because I worked with her last night. And
Absolutely.
all of that was my 2 minutes worth of input.
Absolutely.
Get your dog bone for that.
I would give no one else credit for that but you.
That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
All right, Max. We got Mr. Max here. He's 6 years old and he loves to run. Put a lot of dogs to shame as far as the speed goes, but he's got a great nose and he loves to hunt out here. Been working hard this season. We got a point over here.
Look at that point. That's as pretty as it gets. Oh. Cheryl! Yes! What a lovely shot!
Thank you. I was worried that was
Awesome.
going to get away from me.
That was a good 35-yard bird.
Okay.
Really, really good.
Good point.
That was absolutely excellent. Fantastic second barrel
Thank
shot.
you.
Yeah, head on the stock.
Thanks.
That was fantastic. Real pleasure to watch that bird. You know, he kicked in the turbochargers and he was gone. Oh. Do you have a twin sister?
No.
Well, this can't be the same woman who was struggling on the clays course last night. You're a killer.
Oh, thanks.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I
Great
was pretty
shooting.
worried about today, you know, after my performance yesterday.
I don't know, you settled in. It's always nerve-wracking, some strange Englishman breathing over your shoulder. Mind you, you're married to one of them.
That's right.
Shall we go see if we can find the dead birds?
Oh, absolutely.
And so it goes, until the riders and wagon draw up on a clearing where another genteel tradition is about to unfold. A sumptuous lunch in the field.
Of course, most locations you have to leave the fields and go find a restaurant or find lunch somewhere and come back. Well, it was a great surprise when we came around a bend in the trees and there underneath some live oaks was set some blue gingham tablecloths and one of the finest field lunches I've ever had. You know, this is really traditional plantation shooting.
The southern sunshine now comes from the western side of Zenith, but the day still holds much more for Chris Batha and his fellow hunters, enjoying the perfect day of bobwhite hunting on South Carolina's Brays Island Plantation.
What amazes you is the actual sort of manicured wildness of it. It's just immaculate, from the longleaf pines where they're obviously burnt off every spring, the wonderful covers, and I have to say the dog work is superb. The dogs, especially getting off the mule wagons, we're hunting traditionally here, getting off those mule wagons, and the dogs will hold, allowing you to decide whose rotation to shoot it is, getting the gun out, moving up to the point, and the dogs are rock steady, and they really are HPRs. They hunt, point and retrieve. I've seen some fabulous dog work, which always makes the hunting special.
The wagon hunt is absolutely a unique thing. It's a southern tradition. You're going at a pace there to where it's different from riding on an ATV or anything because it's so quiet. You know, you get to see a lot of activity with the horses and the mules, and it's just a southern tradition, and that's what we try to promote here at Brays. You know, this is a southern plantation, and you come and get the experience.
This afternoon, Chris will hunt with Alan Hyam, a rapidly budding wing shooting sportsman with whom Chris shared some quail shooting tips the previous day on Brays' fabulous sporting clays course.
We're ready.
Nice shot, Alan.
Thank you.
Very nicely done.
How many did you get? Sorry about that.
That's all right, don't worry.
Robert's my buddy, he pushes them my way.
I had the shots, I just missed. Now this is going to be a shot to test your seabird shoot.
This is where we need a flusher.
This is where we need a chainsaw.
I know. But actually these are fun shots.
Go on. Oh, nice shot.
Did I win, Logan? Oh, good retrieve, Henry.
He does great work, Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Henry's a nice dog.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you, that was exactly what I was trying to tell you yesterday afternoon, and while we've been walking this afternoon. That was a perfect shot. You know, you didn't rush it, you turned around, saw where the bird was going, and nailed it with that first barrel.
Yeah, it's surprising, like you say, you don't realize how much time you have until you slow the shot down.
Yeah, and, you know, the ducker and divers will always pressure you, and that is seabird, shootbird, but where the bird's got plenty of air around it, you have got time to take
Yeah.
a more relaxed shot.
Thanks a lot. That was
Good
great.
work.
Thank you.
That was a patient shot. You showed a lot of patience on that.
Thanks. And I'm not a patient man, so that I appreciate it. And there's many times where so many birds get up that I personally am not advanced enough to where I can pick a bird and just totally identify that bird, and I'll get confused by several birds there. Like 4 birds got up, you had a chance to reload, 2 more birds got up, 3 more birds got up. I mean, that's just dream shooting, I think. You have chance to take 2 or 3 birds, get a lot of retrieves. It really tests the dog, marking the down birds, and the dog did great, picked up all the birds. So those are the great days. Where 2 shots are enough if you can reload fast enough.
Everything I've heard about Braze is true. Superb hunting, fantastic dog work, some of the nicest people and staff anywhere. This is a 5-star facility, and anybody who lives here is very, very lucky. This is as pretty as it gets. That is absolutely a beautiful point. That dog is gorgeous. It's very unseasonably warm for February, and we're going to give the dogs a little rest. We're finishing this afternoon, and I think they got something lined up pretty special for me this evening, and they haven't told me, so we'll have to wait and see.
There's only one way to seal the experience of so much Southern tradition, and that's with one more tradition. At Braze Island, that's a low country oyster roast.
Oh, the best.
Right?
You know, these are like, they're not like the big oysters, the Dublin Bay oysters or the Pacific oysters. These are like spicy, salty, little, you know, I can't describe what a great treat these are. And with a little touch of horseradish. Oh, yum, yum. Yum, yum.